I sold my car to pay for Dad's medical bills, but he secretly funded my sister's luxury vacation instead. When he fell ill again, he didn't expect me to walk away. The Instagram notification lit up my phone, and my heart dropped into my stomach. There was my sister Marie, cocktail in hand, lounging on a pristine beach in the Maldives. The same sister whose medical bills I'd been told were piling up. The same reason I'd sold my beloved Honda Civic, my first major purchase, my symbol of independence, just 2 weeks ago. I'm Samuel, and this is the moment I realized my family had been playing me for a fool my entire life. "You've got to be kidding me," I whispered, scrolling through photo after photo. Infinity pools, sunset yacht cruises, champagne toasts. The timestamp showed she'd been there for the past 10 days, exactly when Dad had called me crying about her emergency appendectomy. My phone buzzed again, Dad calling. I let it ring. "Samuel?" Tom poked his head into my cubicle. "You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." I turned my phone screen toward him. "Remember how I told you I sold my car to help with Marie's medical bills?" He squinted at the screen, then his eyes widened. "Oh, no. Oh, hell no. Oh, yes." I laughed, but it came out more like a sob. Apparently, appendicitis is best treated with 5-star resorts and seafood buffets. My phone buzzed again. "Dad, again." "Answer it," Tom urged. "Call her out." I took a deep breath and picked up. "Hi, Dad. Samuel, son. I've been trying to reach you all morning. How are you doing without your car? I feel just awful about, how's Marie's recovery going?" I cut in, my voice steady. "Oh, she's doing better. The doctor said." "Really?" "Because her Instagram shows her doing just fine in the Maldives for the past 10 days. Silence. "Then, Samuel, son, I can explain." "Save it." My voice cracked. "I sold my car, Dad, because you told me Marie needed emergency surgery, that she couldn't afford the bills, that she might lose her apartment. Well, she was very stressed at work, and you know how she gets." "Stop." I stood up, drawing concerned looks from my coworkers. Lowering my voice, I continued. "I've been taking the bus for 2 hours each way to work. I had to cancel my gym membership to afford it. Meanwhile, she's posting photos of $1,000 champagne bottles. She needed a break, Samuel. You know how hard she works. I'm hanging up now." "Don't be dramatic, son. Family helps family. You've always been the responsible one." "Yeah," I said. "I have been, and you've both used that against me my entire life." I ended the call and blocked his number. Tom touched my arm. "Samuel." My phone lit up with a text from Marie. "Dad's crying. Why are you being such a D?" I showed Tom the message, and he swore under his breath. "Want me to kill her? I know people." That made me laugh. A real one this time. "No. I have a better idea." I opened Instagram and commented on her latest post. "Glad to see my car money is treating you well. Hope the appendicitis cleared up nicely." Within minutes, my phone exploded with notifications. Marie's friends commenting with question marks, Dad calling from different numbers, Marie herself sending increasingly angry texts. "You're going to start a family war," Tom warned, but he was grinning. "No," I said, gathering my things. "I'm going to end one. Can you cover for me? I need to leave early." "Where are you going?" "To the bank. I'm closing our joint account and removing myself as a cosigner on Dad's credit card. Then I'm going to look for a new apartment, one closer to work." "What about your family?" I looked at my phone, now showing a group text from Dad. "Family meeting, tonight, non-negotiable." "They stopped being my family the moment they decided my car was worth less than Marie's vacation," I said, deleting the message. "I'm done being their ATM." As I walked to the bus stop, another notification popped up. This time from Barbara in accounting. "Saw your comment on your sister's post. If you need a ride home, I'm heading your way." I stared at the message for a moment then replied, "Thanks, but I need to learn to stand on my own 2 feet." The bus arrived, and as I climbed aboard, I felt lighter than I had in years. Sometimes losing everything is exactly what you need to find yourself. And I had a feeling this was just the beginning. The banging on my apartment door started at 7 a.m. sharp. I'd been expecting it. Dad always did have a flair for dramatic timing. "Samuel, open this door right now." His voice carried through the thin walls, probably waking my neighbors. I turned up my coffee maker to drown out his voice and continued packing boxes. After yesterday's revelation, I'd spent the night searching for new apartments and found one closer to work. The lease was signed digitally by midnight. "I know you're in there. Your car isn't." "Oh." His voice faltered, probably remembering why exactly my car wasn't in its usual spot. My phone buzzed with Tom's text. "Operation Freedom going okay?" Before I could reply, Marie's voice joined Dad's. "Stop being childish and open the door." I typed back. The dynamic duo showed up. "Doing great. Almost done packing." Walking to the door but not opening it, I called out, "I'm not interested in talking. Please leave before I call the building manager." "You can't just cut us off," Dad's voice cracked. "We're family." "Family doesn't steal from each other," I replied, taping up another box. "Family doesn't lie about medical emergencies." "It wasn't stealing," Marie shouted. "Dad said you offered to help." Help with your supposed appendicitis, not your luxury vacation. I needed that break. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. The pressure? I yanked the door open, making them both step back. Try working 60-hour weeks to make rent. Try taking the bus at 5 a.m. because you sold your car to help your lying family. Try that kind of pressure, Marie. Dad reached for my arm. Son, please. I stepped back. Don't touch me. I've already closed our joint accounts and removed myself from your credit cards. I'm moving out this weekend. This is goodbye. You can't do this to us. Marie's face reddened. Dad needs your help with the bills. Maybe you should have thought about that before spending my car money on cocktails. It wasn't your money once you gave it to us. You're right, I said quietly. It wasn't. Just like I'm not your ATM anymore. My phone buzzed again. Barbara this time. Need help moving? Got a truck and free time? Dad noticed my small smile at the message. Who's that? Is someone putting these ideas in your head? The only person putting ideas in my head is me, for the first time in my life, actually. But what about Christmas? Dad's voice wavered. Your sister's birthday? Family dinners? I'm sure you'll manage to guilt someone else into funding those. Marie stepped forward, her finger pointing at my face. You ungrateful little, everything okay here? A deep voice interrupted. We all turned to see Janet, our elderly neighbor and family friend, standing in the hallway with her arms crossed. Just fine, I said. Dad and Marie were just leaving. Janet nodded slowly. Robert, Marie, I think Samuel's made himself clear. Best give him some space. But he's abandoning us, Dad wailed. Like you abandoned my trust, I shot back. Or my car payment? Or the truth? Janet stepped between us. Robert, take Marie and go home. Samuel's an adult making adult decisions. Respect that. Dad's face crumpled, but Marie grabbed his arm. Fine. Have fun playing martyr, Samuel. Don't come crying to us when you need something. That's rich coming from you, I said, but they were already walking away. Janet waited until they disappeared down the stairs. You okay, kiddo? Getting there, I showed her my phone with the new apartment details. Moving this weekend. She nodded approvingly. Good for you. Sometimes the hardest part of growing up is growing away. Thanks for the backup. Anytime. She turned to leave, then paused. You know, I watched you take care of them for years. Maybe it's time someone took care of you. I glanced at Barbara's message, still waiting for a reply. Maybe she was right. After Janet left, I texted Barbara back. Actually, could use some help this weekend? Pizza and gratitude in exchange for truck services? Her response was immediate. Deal. But I'm picking the toppings. Looking around my half-packed apartment, I felt something unfamiliar. Hope, maybe, or freedom. For the first time in my life, the weight of family obligation wasn't pressing down on my shoulders. I sent one final text to Tom. Operation Freedom, Phase 1 complete. Phase 2, actually living my life. His response made me laugh. About damn time. He was right. It was about damn time. So what made you finally snap? Barbara asked, setting down another box in my new apartment. Sunlight streamed through the windows, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air. You mean besides the luxury resort photos? I wiped sweat from my forehead. 29 years of being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who always said yes, and now, you're the one who says no. She grinned, collapsing onto my second-hand couch. It suits you. I tossed her a water bottle. Thanks again for helping. I know moving isn't exactly a fun weekend activity. Are you kidding? This is better than watching Netflix. She took a swig of water. Besides, I've wanted to talk to you properly since that day you stormed out of the office. A knock at the door interrupted whatever I was about to say. Tom burst in, carrying Chinese takeout. Food's here. Oh, hey, Barbara. Didn't know you'd still be here. I can go? She started to stand. Don't you dare, I said. You earned that food. Besides, I need witnesses in case my family shows up. Tom set out the containers on my kitchen counter. Speaking of which, have you checked your mail? Your dad's been sending letters to the office. Yeah. I saw them. Haven't opened them. Smart, Barbara said, joining us at the counter. My brother went through something similar with our mom. Sometimes distance is the only answer. I grabbed chopsticks from a box labeled kitchen stuff and passed them around. How did that work out for him? He's happier now. Mom eventually realized she couldn't manipulate him anymore and backed off. Here's hoping, I muttered, then jumped as my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Samuel, it's Dad. Please call. It's about my health. I showed the screen to Tom, who rolled his eyes. New phone number, same old guilt trip. Delete it, Barbara advised. If it's really about his health, he can tell Marie. I blocked the number, but my hands were shaking slightly. Barbara noticed and touched my arm gently. Hey. You're doing the right thing. Am I? I looked between her and Tom because sometimes it feels like I'm being horrible. You want horrible? Tom pulled out his phone. Look what your sister posted yesterday. He showed me Marie's Instagram story, a photo of Dad looking sad at a restaurant captioned, missing my brother who abandoned us. Family should come first. That's rich, Barbara scoffed, coming from the girl who used your car money for a vacation. They're trying to paint me as the villain, I said, stabbing at my low mane. And the worst part is it's working. Half my relatives have already unfollowed me. Good riddance, Tom declared. Less people to explain yourself to at Christmas. About that, I took a deep breath. I got invited to spend Christmas with my college roommate in Colorado. I think I'm going to go. That's perfect. Tom clapped. A drama-free holiday. Plus skiing, Barbara added. Much better than watching Marie open expensive gifts bought with other people's money, I laughed, then sobered. I just hope Dad's okay. Health-wise, I mean. He's fine, Tom assured me. I saw him at the mall yesterday shopping up a storm. Of course you did. I shook my head. Let me guess. Marie was with him? Yep. Both looked pretty healthy to me. My phone buzzed again. Another unknown number. Samuel, Dad's really sick. Don't be selfish. Call us. That's it. Barbara grabbed my phone and started typing. What are you doing? She showed me the message she drafted. If Dad is truly ill, take him to a doctor. I'm not a medical professional or an ATM. Please stop contacting me. Send it, Tom urged, then block this number too. I hit send, then immediately blocked the number. You know what's weird? For the first time since selling my car, I actually feel like I can breathe. That's because you're finally living for yourself, Barbara said. It looks good on you. Our eyes met over the takeout containers, and something warm flickered in my chest. Tom cleared his throat dramatically. Well, I should head out. Early meeting tomorrow. He winked at me not so subtly. Barbara, take care of our boy. Okay? After he left, Barbara helped me break down empty boxes. You know, she said casually, there's this great coffee shop around the corner. Maybe we could check it out sometime when you're settled in? I smiled, thinking how different this felt from the constant drain of family obligations. I'd like that. As if on cue, another unknown number popped up on my phone. Without even reading the message, I blocked it. Look at you, Barbara grinned. Getting better at saying no already. And yes, I added, meeting her eyes, when it matters. I was in the middle of a presentation when Dad burst into the conference room, eyes red and puffy from crying. My coworkers froze, all eyes darting between us as I gripped my presentation pointer so tight my knuckles went white. Samuel, please, he sobbed. You have to help us. Mr. Sutton, my manager started, this is a private meeting. It's okay, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Give me 5 minutes. I led Dad to the break room, aware of curious eyes following us. Through the glass walls, I saw Barbara stand up from her desk, concern etched on her face. I gave her a small wave. I could handle this. You can't ignore us forever, Dad said as soon as we were alone. We're drowning without you. Funny how you managed just fine before I started working, before I became your personal bank. That's not fair. We're family. Stop. I held up my hand. Just tell me why you're here, making a scene at my workplace. He pulled out a stack of papers from his bag, bills, notices, collection letters. Marie lost her job. The credit cards are maxed out. The bank is threatening foreclosure. And this is my problem because we need you. Just a small loan, maybe 10,000. I actually laughed. 10,000? Dad, I don't even have a car anymore. Remember? But your savings are for my future, not Marie's mistakes. I glanced at the bills. Why did she lose her job? He shifted uncomfortably. She had a disagreement with her boss about vacation time. Let me guess. She took unauthorized time off for her Maldives trip? She was stressed. She needed to be an adult and face consequences for once in her life. Just like now. You're being cruel, he whispered. This isn't the son I raised. No. It's not. The son you raised would have emptied his accounts by now, would have sacrificed everything to bail you out. Again. A knock on the break room door made us both turn. Barbara stood there with Tom. Everything okay? Tom asked. We could hear voices. Dad's eyes narrowed. Are these the people who turned you against us? No, Dad. These are the people who helped me see how toxic you are. I moved toward the door. I have to get back to my presentation. Samuel, please just listen, I think you should leave, Barbara said firmly, before security gets involved. Dad gathered his papers, tears starting again. When did you become so heartless? When I realized my heart was the only thing I had left after you and Marie took everything else. After he left, Tom hugged me tight. You okay? No, I admitted. But I will be. Want me to finish your presentation? He offered. I shook my head. I need to do this. Show everyone I'm professional despite that. I'll get you coffee after, Barbara said. You look like you could use it. Back in the conference room, I apologized for the interruption and continued as if nothing had happened. But as I wrapped up, I overheard 2 colleagues whispering, did you hear? Her sister lost everything after that luxury vacation she took with his money. Serves her right. My brother said he saw her at the mall yesterday, trying to return thousands in designer clothes. I packed up my laptop, pretending not to hear, but a small part of me felt vindicated. Karma was finally catching up. Barbara was waiting by my desk. Ready for that coffee? Actually, I hesitated. Can we get something stronger? I think I need a drink. I know just the place. At the bar, after my first glass of wine, I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from Marie, 1 voicemail. You think you're so much better than us now? Dad's a mess because of you. I had to move back home because of you. I hope you're happy with yourself, you selfish. I deleted it before it finished. You know what's ironic? I told Barbara. They keep saying I abandoned them, but they're the ones who never showed up for me. Not once. She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Their loss. Yeah. I said, squeezing back. Their loss. My phone buzzed again. A text from Janet. Saw your father today. Don't worry about his dramatics. You're doing the right thing. I showed Barbara the message, and she smiled. Smart woman, that Janet. Smart enough to see what took me 29 years to figure out. Better late than never, she said, raising her glass. To boundaries, I clinked my glass against hers. To boundaries, and to finally enforcing them. Janet showed up at my door on a rainy Sunday morning holding 2 cups of coffee and wearing a grim expression. Got a minute, kiddo? For coffee? Always. I let her in, noting how she seemed to be choosing her words carefully. What's wrong? Saw your father yesterday, she said, settling onto my couch at the hospital. My stomach dropped. Is he okay? Panic attack. They kept him overnight for observation. She handed me a coffee. Marie wasn't there. Apparently, she was too busy trying to pawn her designer watches. I sipped my coffee to hide my trembling hands. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know the truth, not the manipulated version they're spreading around. She leaned forward. Your father's panic attack happened right after the bank officially started foreclosure proceedings. Let me guess. Because of Marie's spending? Partially. But mainly because he's been paying her rent, car payments, and credit card bills for months, even before your car money went to her vacation. My phone buzzed, Barbara checking in. Still on for lunch? I typed back quickly, rain check? Something came up. Samuel, Janet said gently. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you because you need to understand. This isn't your fault. They were drowning long before you stepped away. But if you hadn't cut them off, they would have dragged you down with them. She pulled out her phone showing me a social media post from Marie from just last night, her at an expensive club, bottles on the table. She posted this while your father was in the hospital. Of course, she did. I set my coffee down hard enough to slosh it. Why am I not surprised? Because you finally see them clearly. Janet stood up walking to my window. You know, I've known your family for 15 years. Watched you work 3 jobs in college while Marie dropped out of her 4th attempt at community college. Saw you skip vacations to help with bills while she bought designer clothes. Why didn't you say anything? Would you have listened? She turned to face me. Sometimes people need to realize things on their own. My phone buzzed again. Tom this time. 911. Your dad's posting about being in the hospital. Are you okay? I should check on him, I said half standing. Should you? Janet raised an eyebrow. Or is that your guilt talking? Before I could answer, my phone rang. An unknown number. I answered on speaker. Samuel? Marie's voice filled the room. Dad's in the hospital, and you don't even care? He could have died. From a panic attack? About money problems you caused? Oh, so this is my fault now? The foreclosure? The maxed out credit cards? The vacation you took with my car money? Yeah, Marie. It kind of is. You're unbelievable, she spat. Dad needs help with the hospital bills now. The least you could do, the least I could do is nothing, I cut in, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Fine. I hope you can live with yourself when, Janet took the phone. Marie? It's Janet. Instead of guilt-tripping your brother, maybe try selling those watches you were bragging about last week or the designer suits, or maybe just grow up. She hung up and blocked the number before Marie could respond. Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank me yet. She handed me back my phone. The hard part's coming. They're going to escalate. Make you look like the villain. Try to turn everyone against you. They already are. I showed her my father's latest Facebook post. A hospital selfie with the caption, missing my son during this difficult time. Prayer warriors needed. Yes. The social media guilt trip, she chuckled. Your father's specialty. My phone lit up with messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years, all suddenly concerned about my absence. You know what's funny? I said, blocking numbers one by one. A month ago, this would have broken me. Now it just makes me angry. Good. Janet headed for the door. Anger's better than guilt. Anger means you're healing. Janet? I called as she opened the door. Why are you really here? She paused. Because 15 years ago, I watched a little boy give up his college fund to pay for his sister's 3rd car. Someone should have stepped in then. I'm stepping in now. After she left, I called Barbara. Rain check canceled. I could really use that lunch. Everything okay? No, I said honestly, but I'm done feeling guilty about that. I'll pick you up in 20, she said. And, Samuel, I'm proud of you. 3 simple words, but they meant more than all my family's manipulative messages combined. Sometimes the family you choose is better than the family you're born into. The hospital corridor felt longer than it should have. Tom squeezed my hand as we approached the information desk where a nurse directed us to room 304. You don't have to do this, Tom reminded me. I know, but I need to see for myself. We found Dad asleep, looking smaller than I remembered in the hospital bed. Marie wasn't there. Surprise. Surprise. But she'd left her mark. Designer shopping bags cluttered the corner of the room. Seriously? Tom whispered, pointing at the bags. She's in the hospital, and she's still shopping? Dad's eyes fluttered open. Samuel? You came. Just to check on you, I said, staying near the door. Janet told me what happened. The doctors say it's stress. He reached for my hand, but I didn't move closer. If you just help with some of the bills, Dad, I cut him off. I can see the shopping bags. He glanced at the corner and flushed. Your sister needed nothing in those bags. I pulled out my phone and showed him Marie's latest Instagram story, her at a club last night, caption reading, "Can't keep a good woman down. She's dealing with this in her own way," he defended. While you're in the hospital? Tom interjected. That's cold even for her. Don't judge her. Samuel, tell your friend to what? Point out the obvious? I stepped closer to the bed. You're in here because of panic attacks over money while she's out partying with what's left of it. She promised to pay it back. Like she promised to pay me back for my car? A nurse appeared in the doorway. Everything okay in here? Your blood pressure's rising, Mr. Sutton. We're leaving, I said. I just needed to see something for myself. Samuel, please. Dad grabbed my wrist. I know I made mistakes, but I'm sick. I need you. No. You need someone to enable you and Marie. That's not me anymore. As if on cue, Marie burst into the room, reeking of alcohol. Well, look who finally showed up. And look who's drunk at noon, Tom muttered. You got something to say? Marie stepped toward him, but I moved between them. Back off, Marie. Or what? You'll abandon us again? She laughed bitterly. Too late for that, bro. Ma'am, the nurse intervened. If you can't calm down, I'll have to ask you to leave. It's fine, I said. We're going. Yeah. Run away, Marie called after us. That's what you're good at. I stopped at the door. You know what I'm actually good at, Marie? Taking care of myself. You should try it sometime. In the hallway, my phone buzzed with a text from Barbara. How's it going? Can you meet us at the corner cafe? I typed back. Need friendly faces right now. Already there, she responded. Got your favorite muffins waiting. Tom drove us to the cafe, keeping up a steady stream of conversation to distract me. When we walked in, Barbara had claimed our usual corner booth. That bad? She asked, noting my expression. Worse. I collapsed into the booth. Marie showed up drunk. Dad tried to guilt-trip me about money while surrounded by shopping bags. Classic. Tom snorted. Did you see his Facebook post? Blessed to have one child by my side during this health crisis. With a photo of Marie passed out in the hospital chair. At least she's honest about her being passed out, Barbara said, sliding a chocolate muffin toward me. My phone lit up with a message from Janet. Heard about the hospital visit. You okay? Getting there, I replied. Thanks for the heads up about his condition. Heads up about what? Barbara asked. Before I could answer, the cafe door chimed. Marie stumbled in. Oh, for crying out loud. Tom stood up, but I pulled him back down. Samuel, Marie slurred, drawing attention from other customers. Having a nice little coffee date while Dad suffers? You mean like your club night while he was admitted? I kept my voice level. That's different. I needed to blow off steam. Ma'am, a barista approached her. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Not without my brother's wallet, she sneered. Come on, Samuel. 10 grand. That's all we need to stop the foreclosure. Barbara stood up. He said no. Walk away. Stay out of this, Marie jabbed a finger at her. This is family business. No, I said firmly, standing too. This is harassment. And if you don't leave right now, I'm calling the police. You wouldn't. I pulled out my phone. Try me. Something in my voice must have convinced her because she backed away. This isn't over. Yes. It is. I sat back down, hands shaking, but voice steady. It's been over since the Maldives. After she left, Barbara took my hand. You did good. Yeah, I said, watching Marie stagger down the street through the cafe window. I did. And for the first time, I actually believed it. The foreclosure notice appeared in the local paper on a Tuesday. By Wednesday morning, my phone was exploding with messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Did you see this? Tom slapped the newspaper down on my desk. Your dad's house is going up for auction next month. Before I could respond, Barbara rushed over. Samuel, you need to see this. She pulled up Marie's latest Instagram post, a photo of our childhood home with the caption, thanks to my selfish brother, we're losing everything. Family means nothing to some people. Hashtag betrayed, hashtag toxic, hashtag family. She's got some nerve, Tom growled. My phone rang. Uncle Larry this time. I declined the call and turned to Barbara. Remember that coffee date we kept postponing? Wanna go now? In the middle of work? I can't be here right now. She grabbed her keys without hesitation. Let's go. At the coffee shop around the corner, I finally looked at my messages. Most were variations of how could you let this happen and your poor father. But one caught my eye from Janet. Your father is at my house. Marie's nowhere to be found. Thought you should know. Of course, she's not there, I muttered, showing Barbara the message. Probably off buying more designer clothes while Dad loses his house. Actually, Barbara pulled out her phone. According to her Instagram stories, she's at some resort in Miami right now. What? I grabbed her phone. Sure enough, there was Marie, poolside with cocktails. How is she affording this? Probably with whatever's left of your car money, she said gently. My phone buzzed again, Dad calling from Janet's phone. After a moment's hesitation, I answered on speaker. Samuel, please come to Janet's. We need to talk. About what? How Marie's in Miami while you're losing the house. Silence then. She said it was a business trip. What business? She lost her job months ago. She's networking, he defended, looking for opportunities. With my money, I said flatly. Again, that's not fair. She's trying to scam more people, to waste more money, to avoid responsibility? Which is it, Dad? You don't understand. No. You don't understand. I hadn't meant to shout, but the words burst out. I sold my car, my independence, to help with supposed medical bills. Instead, that money funded Marie's vacation. Now she's in Miami while you're losing your house, and somehow I'm the bad guy? Samuel, put Janet on the phone. A shuffle, then Janet's voice. Hey, kiddo. Is he really staying with you? Yeah. House's electricity got cut off yesterday. And Marie? Haven't seen her in days. Your father keeps making excuses, but she's living it up in Miami while he's homeless, I finished. Pretty much. I took a deep breath. Take care of him, Janet. I can't do it anymore. After hanging up, I looked at Barbara. Am I a terrible person for refusing to enable them? No. She reached across the table. You're just finally putting yourself first. My phone lit up with a news alert. Someone had shared Marie's post to a local community page. The comments were flooding in. Isn't this the woman who took her brother's car money for a vacation? Yeah. And now she's in Miami while her dad's getting evicted. What a piece of work. Poor brother dodged a bullet getting away from this family. Look. Barbara pointed to one comment from someone who worked at Marie's old company. This woman got fired for stealing company funds after blowing all her brother's money. Now she's trying to play victim? Pathetic. She stole from her company too. Karma is not just a concept. Barbara smiled. It's a reality show, and your sister's the star. My phone buzzed with another message, this time from Dad's best friend. Just saw Marie's post. Don't worry, honey. We all know the truth. Your father enabled her for years, and now they're both facing consequences. Stay strong, you know what's weird? I said, showing Barbara the message. A few months ago, this would have destroyed me. Now it feels like validation. Because you're finally seeing clearly, and apparently so is everyone else. I looked at Marie's Miami photos again, then at the foreclosure notice. She's really going to let him lose everything while she parties in Miami. That's on her, Barbara said firmly. Not you. My phone buzzed one final time. Tom, your dad's story is all over local Facebook, but plot twist, people are on your side. Even your uncles are dragging Marie in the comments. Justice is sweet. I turned my phone off and looked at Barbara. Want to get out of here? I could use a walk. Lead the way. She smiled, taking my hand. As we left the coffee shop, I realized something. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting away and letting karma do its job. The auction sign on Dad's front lawn cast long shadows in the setting sun. I sat in Barbara's truck across the street, watching potential buyers walk through my childhood home. You sure you want to be here for this? She asked, squeezing my hand. Before I could answer, Janet's car pulled up. Dad got out looking smaller than ever, followed by Tom. No sign of Marie. She's still in Miami, Tom texted me. Your dad finally blocked her number after she asked for more money yesterday. I showed Barbara the message. Guess rock bottom has a basement. Samuel? Dad's voice made me jump. He stood beside the truck, eyes red but clear. I didn't expect to see you here.
Neither did I admitted, rolling down the window.
I understand now, he said quietly. Why you walked away. I should have done the same with Marie years ago. Dad, no. Let me finish. He straightened his shoulders. I got the final credit card statement yesterday. Do you know what Marie's last purchase was? A first-class ticket to Dubai while I was sleeping on Janet's couch. Classic Marie, I muttered. I'm sorry, he whispered, about your car, about everything. I know. I'm not asking for money, he added quickly, or forgiveness. I needed you to know that you were right, and I was wrong about so many things. Janet appeared behind him. Robert, the realtor needs you to sign some papers. He nodded then turned back to me. I found a small apartment. Janet helped with the deposit. I'm going to get a job, pay my own way, like you've been doing all along. As he walked away, Tom came to the truck. You okay? Getting there. I watched Dad sign papers with shaking hands. Where is Marie now? According to her Instagram, trying to start a luxury lifestyle consulting business in Dubai? Tom rolled his eyes. With what credentials? Who knows? She'll find new people to scam, Barbara said, but they won't be you. My phone buzzed, a notification that Dad had posted on Facebook for the first time in weeks. Today, I say goodbye to my home of 30 years. I've lost a lot recently, my house, my savings, and my son's respect. But maybe I'm also gaining something, clarity. To my son, Samuel, you saw the truth long before I did. I'm sorry it took losing everything to understand what you've been trying to tell me. I hope someday I can earn back your trust. For now, I'm learning to stand on my own 2 feet. Better late than never. Wow, Tom breathed, reading over my shoulder. That's actually genuine. Yeah, I said, watching Dad hand over the keys to the realtor. It is. What now? Barbara asked. I thought about my new apartment, my growing savings account, the promotion I'd gotten last week, about Barbara's steady presence and Tom's unwavering support, about Janet's wisdom and Dad's belated but sincere awakening. Now we go home, I said. All of us. Even your dad? Tom raised an eyebrow. I'm not ready to let him back in completely, I admitted. But maybe we can get coffee sometimes. Talk about things besides money and Marie. Speaking of Marie, Barbara pointed to her latest Instagram post, a desperate plea for investors in her new venture complete with obvious stock photos and empty promises. Her karma is still playing out. Tom grinned. Dad walked over one last time, clutching a small box. I found these while packing, he said, handing it to me through the window. Inside were photos of me as a kid, winning science fairs, graduating high school, buying my first car. No Marie in sight. You were always the strong one, he said. I just never appreciated it until now. Keep them, I said, passing the box back. For your new place? He hugged the box to his chest, tears spilling over. Thank you. As he walked to Janet's car, Barbara started the truck. Ready? I looked at my old house one last time. The auction sign swayed in the breeze, its sold sticker catching the last rays of sunlight. Yeah, I said. I'm ready. My phone buzzed with a final message from Janet. Proud of you, kiddo. Both of you. And she was right. Dad was finally standing on his own feet. Marie was facing her consequences half a world away.
And I was exactly where I needed to be.
Hey, Barbara said as we pulled away. Want to go car shopping this weekend? I smiled, watching my old house disappear in the rearview mirror. Actually, yeah. I think it's time. Sometimes the happy ending isn't about fixing everything. It's about finding peace with what can't be fixed and building something new from what remains.